Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. Welcome back to my live stream here, or if you watch it in the future, a recorded live stream uh, about music and art. Today, it's mostly going to be about art. I'm going to show you, as I have been showing, I've been showing you my website, my eBay art store. I'm going to show a painting right back here. It's a damaged painting. It's called Green Fields. I'm explaining why it's damaged and what am I going to do with it, right? And then I'm going to do a little bit of talking about Fairfield Porter, who was an artist that I became aware of in art school, and just have always appreciated his painting and his criticism. And he was a very interesting character. So let's get started right here, okay? Where are we going to go there? Oh, hey, this is my website right here. This is my website. If you want a big QR code it over to markrushton.com, this is a good way to get started on your mobile device. And I think that goes to my website. I should have tested that out first. Oh well, whatever. And then, oh yeah, oh look at this! Wow, fancy stuff here going on with the StreamYard today. So yeah, I got to knock this one out because my wife's coming home. It's like 3:47 right now. My wife will be home a little after 4, so. There'll be noise. We're gonna get going here. All right. So next up is the old Mark Rushton website, where you can find out more information about me. You can link over to my eBay store. You can subscribe to my email newsletter, which I do at least once a month, and just a little more talking about stuff. See how this is working today. A little bit more about me and my ambient Rushton podcast that I put out. There's really nothing on the blog there. I don't like blogs. They're a pain. And then my personal contact information. If you want to find out more information about my music, I have some details right here. And just basic information about my paintings, including links to my eBay store and some of the larger pieces that I do. So anyway, and you know what? I had a little one of those there, and I forgot to do it because I'm new to this, right? I'm new to the whole streaming thing. Maybe I should shut up a little bit more. Quit acting like sportscasters or people on. I don't even watch TV anymore, so I'm sure they're just talking constantly and saying nothing. Anyway, so let's get on with the meat of the show here. And that would be this painting back here. Green Fields. A damaged painting. Unfortunately, it's damaged. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I do like this painting very much. It's acrylic paint on Tyvek synthetic paper. It's an 18 by 24. It's been adhered to a cradled wood panel and put in this very nice white matte wood frame here. But unfortunately, due to some nature of the, and I'm trying to get my footing here. We're just going to be constantly, I think we're just going to be constantly blurry here. I'll just put that down there and cheap webcam. So the problem with painting using acrylic paint on Tyvek is that it can tend to scratch. And I learned this, let's get this off of here. I learned this when trying to display it open face. Sometimes the paint adheres very, very well, and other times it does not. And there's no way to well, the best way to handle that would be to put that under like a glass or a plexiglass. And, some people don't like that. And some people do. Some people don't care if the image is right. So yeah, I found this out. Some pieces don't scratch and other pieces do scratch. And that is why I transitioned over to acrylic inks, because acrylic inks are much more permanent and do not scratch. And you can display them in an open-faced manner. So, and there's nothing I can put on top of this. I cannot put a what's that stuff that you put on? I've got jars of it over there. Uh, I'm going to call it a glaze. You know, I trying to remember here. It's like an acrylic type of. Anyway, it says the stuff you put on after you put on a painting. It comes in matte and glossy, and you can't put that on there because of the nature of the synthetic paper. It will destroy it. You can't have anything. You cannot. Tyvek does not work at all with solvent based. Anything solvent based. So that's out of the question. It can only be like a starch based. And what's the point, right? So anyway, I've transitioned away. So if I do acrylic paint on Tyveks, they are going to be under plexiglass or they're going to be under glass. And I will show some of those eventually. I've got a whole bunch in my front room downstairs, and probably the next show I'll bring one of those up here and show you how they display. And they look great. They look absolutely fantastic. So unfortunate on this. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. Yeah, there's a little scratch here. There's a little scratch up there. And if I went, it would be disastrous. So, oh, well, I can always repurpose the frame, and I can always repurpose the cradled wood panel too. So, live and learn, right? Got to know what when you're in the experimentalist sort of phase of messing around with art. It's kind of difficult to know exactly unless you've had that time and that experience. And like I said, I've been painting on Tyvek since the early 1990s, since about 1992 or so. And everything that I've ever done on Tyvek has always been under matting or under glass or under plexiglass. And so a couple of years ago when I started doing these open-faced, oops, didn't realize that. Didn't fully test it. And so, beautiful piece, but that's, what are you going to do, right? I can make more of them. It's not a big deal. All right, so let's see. What do we have after this? We're going to talk about Fairfield Porter, who I was introduced to in art school. One of the good things I learned in art school. I'll just put it like that. Oh, I forgot something. Gosh, the eBay art store. Before we get to Fairfield Porter, let's take a look out at the eBay art store here, the Mark Rushton eBay art store, and what we've got out there. And, I showed this one the other day, Black Hills. And that's at a fantastic price there, $99. And you can see this. Isn't this a great, this is really a great platform for artists, because it took like no time to upload all these photos here. And then it takes a little bit of time to get all of my other stuff in there. But once you, like, if you do your pieces in this, like the same size, like 8x10, this one's always 8x10. You can create a like a template. And so that's just what I use there. And more details here about this. And shipping. Look at that. Iowa City, Iowa. Shipped to worldwide. Yes, excludes Angola, Cambodia, all these other countries here. But and free local pickup. Why not, right? So, yeah. So if you haven't been out to my eBay store, check it out. I'll be adding more paintings here in the next few weeks. And all right, on with the next thing, because I'm not very organized here, which is Fairfield Porter. Let's get over to Porter. Of course, where everybody goes the first time these days is something like Wikipedia. And gosh, if this guy was alive today, man, this thing would be a mile long. It would absolutely be a mile long. And of course, it's got his famous is one of my favorite quotes of his, and which is like, when I paint, I think that would satisfy me is to express what Bernard said Renoir told him, which was make everything more beautiful. And the guy was kind of an interesting, he came from a very, very wealthy family. They owned like his dad or his grandparents owned like the Loop in Chicago. I think he grew up in Winnetka, Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. Then, of course, went to Harvard, and then I don't know why somebody hasn't made a movie about him, because he went to Russia, and I think he was trying to meet. Wasn't he trying to meet one of the Russian leaders or something like that? I'd have to dig that out again. And then he got married. He had 5 kids. One of them was autistic, and he was bisexual, and that was interesting to learn in later biographies. Because I don't think that was hold on here. I don't think there was any mention of that in the Spike book here, which I bought this back in the early to mid 1990s. I think it's out of print, very expensive, and just a fantastic book. Here's Lizzie at the table. That's a great one, right? And you know what? And the bibliography on this thing is nuts. I love this. This is like one of my favorites right here. Is where are we? Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to do this, and maybe back the camera off a little bit. Like the wall. Just that painting alone there is absolutely hugely inspiring to me. Right there, the wall. So, and of course, he was also an art critic for a number of different publications, I think mainly The Nation. And this one here, Art in Its Own Terms, I believe it was, this was edited by some guy named Rackstraw Downs. This is great. This is fantastic. Just love the old school art criticism. He's so knowledgeable and literate and amazing. And well, let's go through some of, in case you're not familiar with Porter, other than the little, you can go through some of his paintings here. I believe this one was was at the Kansas City, the museum that was right by the art school where I went to in Kansas City. This one here, this was, it always seemed a little creepy, but it's a great, it's a great, he took the easel out, and he's got all this stuff on the wall, and, and then, yeah, there's Lizzie at the table. And then, where's the painting with Jane? I can't ever pronounce her last name. There it is, Jane and Elizabeth. Jane Freilicher. I can never pronounce her name. That's interesting. A little kid there. And then there's one with Adirondack chairs. I think it's called Summer. Well, not everything's on the web, And then we're getting into other stuff there. But anyway, gosh, where are we at now? Are we at 15? We're almost at 15 minutes. I really don't want these to go beyond 15 minutes. Anyway, that's Fairfield Porter, my painting teacher, Michael Walling at the Kansas City Art Institute turned me on to him, and it's just a lifelong appreciation for him. And again, I don't necessarily paint like him. I have been inspired to some degree by him, but it's just appreciate what he did. Of course, he was friends with all the abstract expressionists, which is amazing, right? He and de Kooning were buds, and a whole bunch, and he was friends with poets and writers, and he was he's somebody that a real deep dive there. So anyway, all right. So where are we? Yeah, back to Mark Rushton. My website is markrushton.com. Again, sign up for my email newsletter, and we'll see you at the next episode here. This has been shambolic but fun. All right, have a good one.